Morning everyone. This morning I thought I'd try and do a farm tour and try and keep it real brief and just go over everything on the farm and just give you a few different views from around the farm to try and give you an idea on how big the farm is. Have a look at the map. So yeah, let's get on with it. Alright, so this here is a map of our whole farm. So currently we're here at the cow shed. It's 2.2 k's from the cow shed to these paddocks across Shelterma Road. So it gives you a bit of an idea on how long it is. The farm's obviously longer than 2.2 k's because we go from here back down towards town, this is our furthest point down here. It's probably it's less than a k, maybe a k at the most, down to from the cow shed to this point. So this here is all bush. So the total farm hectare is actually 400 hectares. So there's 120 hectares in grass, which is the effective grazing for the dairy platform, and then we've got 100 hectares pines, and then there's 180 hectares of native bush. So it's quite a big farm, but the grass is not huge. 120 hectares isn't big, but it's big enough. So here we have the cow shed. This is from the front. Loading race over there. On this side we have the milk room. This is where all the milk passes through up to the, we call it a vat, which is just there. That's the vat. On this side we have the machines room, which we have 2 water pumps and the milking machines. The 30th side herringbone cow shed with only 20 cups in, so there's 10 extra bales on the back there for extending it. This here is the entrance into the loading race, and then we've got the calf shed from the back. Those vats are used for storing colostrum. We have a 300 cow round yard, backing gate with a dung buster on it. The effluent system is a 300,000 litre Tasman tank, which I'm emptying at the moment, which goes down to, that's a sand trap there, and below it you might be able to see the float, which is the effluent pump. So with the effluent system, this tank's just storage, and then here we've got the sand trap, and then down here we've got the pump. So this here is our implement shed. It's a 16 by 9 pole shed by gold pine with 2 enclosed bays, and the other 2 are open for the tractors. This is the calf shed. Originally when we came, this here was the outside wall. We added on this half, well this quarter, and we divided it up into 6 pens with a race down the middle. Bobby calf pen. This is where we store the majority of our bales on the farm. We do have another spot where we store them further up the farm if we make them on farm, but majority of these ones here are brought in. Alright, so just behind those trees is our house. Down there you can see the cow shed. So that gives you a bit of perspective on where we are. We're heading towards town, where you can see the edge of this paddock here. It drops down where there's 2 paddocks below that. That is the boundary. So I forgot to mention that we actually have land on the other side of the road, so we have a road actually running up through the middle of our property. The boundaries the whole way up on the main side of the farm, and then we've just got, I think, 40 hectares on the other side of the road. So we have this underpass which gives us access to that. The underpass has only been in for maybe 4 years, 3 or 4 years. We've been here for 7. So yeah, it makes managing and running the farm heaps easier having an underpass. Alright, so on this farm we have quite a bit of native bush, as I said earlier back at the map. These here are pine trees, and there's another patch of pine trees just there. There's also pine trees up on top of the hill there on the horizon. They're all our bosses. We don't own this farm, just so you're not getting confused. We are share milking here, 50-50 share milking. So we own the cows and the machinery. So you can see round about there, that's where we were standing before, looking up the farm. Now we're looking back down the farm. you can see the road just there, so that's the road that's running up the middle of our farm. So on the other side, those are our paddocks. That's the 40 hectares on the other side of the road. Just down there, that's the calf shed, another calf shed that we use for rearing calves. This paddock up here, that is our highest paddock. We call that the holy block. It's a big paddock. It's just big because it's hard to split up. So that's how it is. Hope I'm not rambling on too much. I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. But pretty spectacular view looking back down the farm. So there you can see the road coming up, it just goes around here and carries on going around. So the land you can see just in that basin there is ours. There's the Waitakere River that runs down through the bottom of it, down there. That's the neighbours on the other side that starts to run back up that ridge. So we're parked on Shelterman Road. This is the furthest point away from our farm, so this is the end of the race. We go over Shelterman Road and we got 4 paddocks. We got 1, 2, 3 and 4 over the hill there. You would have seen the other videos, the logging and fencing. So this paddock runs around this gully here, just goes up. There's a gully in between those 2 paddocks. So this is the furthest point away from our farm, away from the cow shed, sorry. And we're growing grass. Alright, so this here would be the narrowest point of the dairy platform. These pine trees here are our bosses, and then you've got the Waitakere Road down there. So that piece of land on the other side is ours. So those poplar trees there, that's the boundary, and that runs straight down to the Waitakere River, and then it carries on around to that house that you would have seen earlier in the footage, and then we've got a strip of bush here, and then below you got the camp flats. So we got 3 paddocks down there alongside the river. So it's a pretty cool view. This farm tour video that I'm doing, tried to keep it as short and as sweet as possible. I probably have missed some bits, so if you've got any questions, just put them in the comments below and I'll have a go at answering them. It's quite a hard farm to get a perspective on. I guess it's a good thing that we can have a look at the map. It sort of gives you a bird's eye view, but driving around, you know, trying to show you the farm is quite difficult. So hope you enjoy, and yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you somewhere else on the farm. See ya.